Hello everyone, I am Sangeeta Dwivedi, Assistant Professor of Modern Institute of Pharmaceutical Sciences. Today we will learn about connective tissue. Definition of connective tissue is it is a tissue that connects the different parts of the body together is known as connective tissue. Like a cement, which is act as a building supporting and binding material. So just like a building, the cementing material in human body is in the form of a spatial tissue, which helps to bind the body together. And this tissue helps to connect all the organs and parts of the body, and hence this tissue is rightly named as a connective tissue. The basic function of connective tissue is connect different parts and organs of our body. In human body, there are four different types of tissues are found: epithelial tissue, connective tissue, nervous tissue, and muscular tissue. So, in our last session, we saw how much important is epithelial tissue, and today we will be dealing with the connective tissue and its various types. So there are various general characteristics of connective tissues like the intracellular material, which is known as matrix, is maximum, whereas the cellular component in connective tissue is the minimum. There are actually three main components which are found in connective tissue. First is cell, other is fibers, and the last third is matrix. The matrix is maximum, while the cellular component in connective tissue is minimum. Unlike the other tissues like epithelial, nervous, and muscular tissue, which are formed mainly by cells, the major constituent of connective tissue is matrix, and this matrix is produced by the connective tissue cells. Cells and fibers are resides within this matrix of connective. So basically, the connective tissue has cells, fibers, and ground tissue. So, are you wondering that what exactly connective tissue is connect? So let's remember a human body has 206 bones, so that's they all are connected to each other. So yes, they all are connected with a special type of tissue which is known as connective tissue. For an example, if two bones are connected to each other by a ligament, then this ligament is a connective tissue. Yes, this ligament is a type of connective tissue. So basically, the connective tissue uh, provide support and binding to other body organs and tissues. As well as they are also hold body fluids and provide protection against various infection because they have lot of cells like macrophages, plasma cells, mast cell, which are helps to give protection against various microbes. And they are also store nutrients as a fat in the form of adipose tissue. So this slide is showing the classification of connective tissue. Basically, you can see there are four major type of connective tissues are there. First is connective tissue proper, then cartilage, third is bone, and lastly is blood. So bone is a solid connective tissue type, and blood is a fluid type of connective tissue. We will see all connective tissue proper, bone, and blood in this session, and uh, about cartilage we will see in our next lecture. So here you can see connective tissue proper. Again, it's classified into two main types. First is loose connective tissue proper, then it is dense connective tissue proper. And loose again divided into three types, that is areolar connective tissue, connective loose tissue proper, and uh, loose adipose connective tissue proper, and loose reticular connective tissue proper. As well as dense is classified into three types, that is dense regular connective tissue proper, dense irregular connective tissue proper, and third is elastic dense elastic connective tissue proper. So let's see one by one. So this is connective tissue proper or loose connective tissue proper, also known as areolar connective tissue proper. So in this type of connective tissue, a gel-like substance, that is matrix, is form the main bulk of this tissue to protect. This is in this type of tissue, all three types of cells and fibers are present, like elastic, fibroblast, and collagen fibers are there. And basic function of this tissue is to provide protection against various microorganisms through their macrophages, which that phagocytize bacteria, and they are found under the skin. So to protect our bones and muscles, skin is there. But have you ever wondered how does it stay there? Yes, how does it stay there? Because skin connected to a muscle by a special type of connective tissue, and this is a loose connective tissue or also known as areolar connective tissue, because in this tissue cells float in a gel-like medium which is highest in the amount, and cells are very few cells are there. So matrix is high in amount and cells are few in numbers, so that is why it is known as loose connective tissue proper, and it is also uh, known as a filler tissue, right? Next is adipose loose connective tissue proper. So in this adipose connective tissue proper, um, the adipocytes or fat cells are closely packed, and they basically provide a fuel and provide insulation against heat loss, and also they are very good to give support and protection in our internal organs. This adipose layer of cells is found under our skin. So actually it is act as a shock absorber. It is a special type of connective tissue known as adipose tissue which act as a shock absorber and help to protect our body from a mechanical shock. In this type of tissue, cells have large fat globules with little matrix. Reticular connective tissue has a viscous matrix and a branching network of fibers, and it is providing a supporting framework like in the spleen and your bone marrow. So fibers form a soft internal skeleton that supports the other cell types like white blood cells, mast cell and macrophages. So they provide a loose soft network for supporting other cells, and now dense connective tissue proper. Dense means cell in this type of connective tissue is densely packed together with very little matrix. And the basic function of this irregular dense connective tissue proper is to give elasticity and structural support. Uh, Here the collagen fibers are arranged irregularly. That's why the name is irregular dense connective tissue. They found in the dermis of the skin. And the next type of connective tissue is bone. Our bones are also a type of connective tissue. They support and hold our internal organs together, like our skull bones holds our brain. Yes, it is difficult to visualize bone as a tissue because we always assume tissue is a layer or a group of cells. But uh, in bones, our cells are present in a medium which is made up of calcium and phosphorus. So due to the presence of these type of uh, uh, materials or substances like calcium and phosphorus, bone is so strong and hard in appearance. Basically, bone is an example of connective tissue. So basically, bone supports and protects various organs. It provides levers for the muscles so that they can perform their action, store calcium and other minerals, fat, and the bone marrow is also the site of blood formation. Yes, blood is formed inside the long bones, bone marrow, and the location of bone is obviously your skeleton. Your whole skeleton is made up of. The next connective tissue example is blood. It is a liquid in nature, we all know. So it is an example of liquid connective tissue. And in blood, various cells are there like red blood cells and white blood cells, and obviously their fluid matrix. So the function of blood is transport respiratory gases, nutrients, to remove waste and other substances. And it is found in our blood vessels. So this is all for today, and in our next session we will learn about a type of connective tissue which we have not covered in this session. Thank you.